Hello, this is Pam Free from Healthy Over 50. And I'm often asked how much of something people should take, supplements or food even. And I'm often asked what kind of things that people should take. Well, doctors give people the same thing indiscriminately. They'll give the same thing to a 97-pound woman as to a 197-pound guy in terms of drugs. I think that we all need to have exactly what we need. And that even depends from day to day, because one day I might need more protein, one day I might need more carbohydrate. And the only way that I can tell what's really true for me is to ask my own subconscious. And I always had a little trouble with muscle testing before, where you do the arm up and it's yet weak or not weak, it's weak or strong. And I can't do pendulums either, or I couldn't before, because I didn't believe the result. I thought I was affecting it with my mind. Now I've found a system that really works. It's called the sway test. Basically, you connect with your subconscious, which is the part of you that really knows what's going on in your body. Your mind knows maybe 10% of what's going on. That's why you can't remember what you had last week for breakfast. Your subconscious remembers everything. It remembers everyone you ever met, remembers every incident that happened to you. So if you can only tap into that in a reliable way, then you're going to be safe in choosing what you need. So here's the way it works. You first of all get in touch with your higher power and your inner wisdom. So you just ask to connect to both of those things. So wait for a second and ask. When you feel that energy running through you, and if you don't feel it, just do it anyway, because if you ask, it'll show up. You might not feel it show up, but it will show up if you ask. So, okay, mine have both shown up, and now I'm going to test some stuff. First thing is cacao powder. This is a healthy product from Brazil. All it is ground up cacao nuts. So it's the basics of chocolate, but it doesn't have anything except the cacao powder in it right now. So I'm going to stand here. I'll stand sideways so you can see whether I sway or not. So the theory is that you lean towards something that's good for you and you lean away from something that's bad for you. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. You'll feel it happening. So you kind of stand with your feet hip width apart, and you stand pretty solidly on the ground, and then you hold it to your heart, and you say, is this good for me? Uh-oh, it's saying no now. So before it has said yes, and I've been using it occasionally. So I'll try again another day, but let's try again. Is this good for me? Nope, it's not. Okay. Then this is real chocolate. So I'll ask about that. Is this good for me? No. That was a big no. And I knew that would be a no, because it's got sugar in it. Okay, so now we'll move directly on to sugar. This is organic cane sugar. Is this good for me? Nope. It's not. And you may think that I know that in my mind, and that's why I'm swaying. But actually, I've done it in tests where I put it in a brown bag, and I haven't known what was in the bag, and it still works. You can test that for yourself so that you feel secure in this method. Okay, now I'm testing salt. There's this big thing about salt being bad for you. I don't believe it, never did. So here, this is Himalayan salt. Regular salt from the market isn't good for you, but Himalayan salt has every mineral in it that your body needs. Well, that's what they say. Okay, is this good for me? Yep, that's good for me. Okay, now nuts are kind of in a big family, and some nuts might agree with you and nuts might not. So I'm testing for walnuts that I happen to know I'm not allergic to, I'm not even sensitive to, but I don't know whether they're good for me. So let's see. Are these good for me? Yes. Started leaning forward immediately. Okay, actually there's been a study that, one of those things where they study people for donkey's years, and the ones that ate a handful of walnuts a day lasted 10 years longer. So that's a good thing. Okay, the last thing I'm going to test is I've been on this autoimmune diet, which was very, very strict, but I've been on it for 4 months, and it really did heal my leaky gut. So now I don't have any digestive problems anymore, and a lot of my food sensitivities have gone away. So now I'm adding back food that I really like and see if I can use it. So this is the first time I've tested for goat's milk cheese. I'm off all other dairy. I'm off grains, and I'm off all sugars and all processed foods. So you can imagine that's quite a lot of work for a diet like that. You have to cook every meal yourself. But it's worked for me. So I'll gradually ease stuff back in and see when the scale tips again. So I'm testing for cheese. Is this good for me? Yes. Yes, that's good for me now. So if I had it every day, that might not be the case. But with this tool, you can test anything, and then you'd know in that moment this is good for you. Maybe another moment it wouldn't be. But if you have this tool, then you can just ask. Ask your body. The mind is the last to know anything. Your body knows all that you need to know. And this thing about listening to the doctor when he gives you a drug that you know isn't good for you because you've done your own research, people have such a hard time saying no to their doctors. Tune into your inner wisdom and higher power and ask, is this poisonous drug good for me? No, you don't have to say it like that. Okay, I hope this helped.